Hello, welcome to Grandma B's Busy Life. I'm Brenda, and some of my favorite people call me Grandma B. Today I am collaborating with Cynthia at Our Big's Adventure. She has put together a virtual potluck for all of February. I know we can't get together in person, so she has brought a bunch of us together to bring you a virtual potluck. I did a video on February 2nd where I showed grown-up mac and cheese. I'll link to that at the end card so that you can watch that if you haven't. I'll also link to Our Big's Adventure in the description box so you can check out her channel too, and the playlist for all of the virtual potluck that we've had so far this month. Today I'm going to be making a Raspberry Cheesecake Bar. It's pretty simple and the ingredients are easy to find. You may have all of the ingredients just on your pantry shelf. Let's get started. These are all of the ingredients. I have sugar, 3 cups of raspberries, 2 things of Cool Whip. This one is about half gone. I'm going to use both. It only calls for 1, but I'm going to use both. Pretzels, cream cheese, and Jello. Now, I could not find the raspberry in the generic, and I am way too frugal to pay full price for it, so I'm using strawberry Jello and raspberries. It'll be fine. The first step is to grind up your pretzels. See that one on top? Look how funny. I don't measure. I just grind up a bunch. It was about half of this 1 pound bag. It has some big bits and some really small bits. So this is probably going to be a theme through the entire video. I don't measure anything for this recipe. I made it so many times years ago that I just guess. This is a half a stick of melted butter, and I'm just going to put a couple of tablespoons of sugar. This is going to be our crust. Once I've got this mixed together, I'm going to press it into the pans and then bake it for about 10 minutes just to get it solidified. The thing I love about the pretzels is they're salty, so it gives a salty crunch to the crust, and then you have the sweetness of the cream cheese and the raspberries. It makes a really nice balance. I'm using 3 small pans. These are about maybe 5 by 7. It fits into a 9 by 13 pan, but Grandpa B and I can only eat 1 of them, and I'm going to give the other 2 to my kids. All right. I'm going to pop them into the oven for about 10 minutes at 350. While the crust is baking, I'm going to get the cream cheese filling ready. This is 1 8-ounce package of room temperature cream cheese, and I'm going to put in about, I don't know, about 1/3 to 1/2 cup. It looks more like 1/3 of a cup. Now I'm going to fold in the Cool Whip. Like I said, I have 1 1/2 containers. I typically only use 1 container, but I'm trying to clean out my freezer. So I'm going to use both containers. Nothing wrong with a little more Cool Whip, am I right? I will link a recipe that's similar to the one I'm using down in the description box. I'll just find one on Pinterest and link it. I don't follow a recipe, but if you are one that needs a little more exact measurements than what I'm giving you here, feel free to follow one of the recipes that I link below. All right, that looks pretty good. Now these are out of the oven and they're cool. And as you can see, they're not loose anymore. They've kind of baked together. And I'm gonna put on top, you do still need to be a little bit careful because they're not, it's not one solid bar of pretzels. You want to make sure you get all the way to the edge because you're going to put a Jello recipe, a Jello mixture on top, and it'll be liquid at the time. And so you want to make sure that you get all the way to the edge so that it seals it so none of that liquid gets down to the pretzels and gives you soggy pretzels. Because who likes soggy pretzels? Gross. All right, I'm gonna do that to the other two, put them in the fridge, leave them for 30 minutes, up to 2 hours, and then I'll put the Jello mixture on top. While they're in the fridge, I make up the Jello mixture. The advantages of being the cook and not having kids at home and being in charge. In here I have the 2 packages of strawberry Jello, and I'm putting in 2 cups of boiling water. I'm just gonna stir it until it's dissolved, and then I'm gonna add 2 cups of cold water, just like the package directions say. Now I'm gonna put in 3 cups of raspberries. These were frozen, and I've just had them sitting out. Some of them are still frozen, it's okay. So when I'm cooking in the kitchen, I like to watch TV. I have a huge TV in my kitchen. I know, I probably shouldn't, but I do. And I am currently binge watching Grey's Anatomy. I watched it once up until about season 10, and I started over, and I'm now on season 8. So don't give me any spoilers. But I'm curious. What shows do you watch when you're working? What is a great series for me to binge watch? Just leave your suggestions down in the comment box. Okay, this is well mixed. I'm just gonna let it sit and cool off a little bit. I'm not gonna put it in the fridge because I don't want it to gel up, but I just want it to be cool. I don't want it to be warm still. So I'm just gonna leave it sit for about 20 minutes or so, and then I'll put it on top of the cream cheese mixture. Okay, the last step is just to put the Jello on top of the Cool Whip. See why it's so important to make sure that it's sealed around the edge? And I just want to make sure there's raspberries on every bite, so I just move them around. I have a little bit left. I'm just going to put that in a bowl and let it firm up. And I'll eat it later. I'm going to very carefully move them to the fridge and leave them for at least 3 hours. We have 3 hours till dinner, so it's perfect because then we can have them for dessert. I cheated. I took the first piece out because the first piece never comes out perfect. Most of the time it doesn't even come out pretty at all. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness.
goodness! I cannot wait to try it.
Let's try it.
Here we go. Oh, it's so good. It has the salty pretzels and the raspberry combined. It is so good. And it was super easy to make. Most of the time it's just spent with it sitting in the fridge. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. It's always good to have you here. Always come back every Tuesday and Saturday to see the new videos. See you again soon.